It's mastermind time. Yes, it is. We are in week 9 going into 10. Because I always get that wrong. But I just know that because this thing is 10 weeks and we're in the week before last. Otherwise, I would have no clue which week it is. I don't know if you guys have figured that one out. Exciting. I would ask you to do me a favor because I've gotten a lot of questions. What's next? What are our next steps? So I'm going to show you this really quick. Share the screen since we got a little time before more folks get here. BNSAMWeek9SubconsiousPart1 has been updated as of this weekend. I'm pissed because that took my website time, so I've got to be working on my website all night long because I'm in a speaker showcase this week and they're going to look at it. All right, here we go. Let me share it with you guys. And I just want to get the off the cuff look, but just so you don't throw a bunch of questions at me, let me hit share screen. Here we go. And this is BNSASpeaker.org, by the way. And this has a lot of the next steps on there for you laid out. I've asked the facilitators to give you some feedback. So thank you for that, Tony, for that feedback. A lot of things are the same. Notice it's changed to summer and fall. Can you guys see my screen okay? Mm-hmm. Changed summer and fall. This is early bird registration, so the pricing will change. I don't know if it will be right before Influence or during Influence. We're figuring that out right now. And then some of the things are the same. At Influence, by the way, during our mastermind or wherever we can find you and we have a moment, we may have a Black NSA step and repeat, one of those flashy signs. I'd love for you guys to get in front of the sign and chat about what the mastermind has meant to you. That way we can put your video up here.
You got to update Ann's name.
What did I do?
Her last name is not spelled how she spells it.
Fine. I did Chapman's wrong name too, but y'all got to let me know these things. So I'll do that. You notice this here. Try to put words on it so the exact post is revealed, but at least it gives people a thing. So guys, look at this. Email me if you have feedback, if there's something wrong on the site, like a name spelled wrong or a grammar issue. I want to give a shout out specifically to Robin and Nathaniel. I always call her Tanya. It's just easier.
Tanya!
Tanya, for helping us do this whole thing. It took a lot of time, a lot of energy. One of our experts came in and did it. It was a lot of work. So I just kind of went in there and took it to the next level. But special thank you for you guys for helping me do that round 1. And then here's the big part that I want to use the time for you guys to see. These are the options. We're going to do, you either do option 1, which is the summer mastermind. That's $47. That means we're meeting in June once. Still the same format of 5:30 to 7, but the groups rotate. Nobody's sitting up here trying to put people in groups. It's a stripped down version. All the emails will go through Facebook. It's a very stripped down version, but at least you can choose that June, July, August. I guess we can call it the summer goal. And then we're not necessarily reading. This is not a reading, Think and Grow Rich. This is working on speaker goals, whatever that may be. So that's option 1. More information on that specifically later. Option 2 is for the person that says, nah, I don't want to do the summer thing. I want to come back in the fall. We are going to start fresh because it's a new goal. We're finishing the book. Thank you, Anne, for organizing all that. That's $97. I think it is by itself. $97, same price. This is early bird, so it's going to change. Once we're at conference, it may go to $197. Option 1 and 2 means you want both the summer and both the fall. That's $127. So clearly you get a price break if you do option 1 and option 2. So you go in there and check it out. And then number 2, it says complete the registration form. Didn't do that last time around. Had to figure out everyone's PayPal. It was a pain in the butt. So now you guys do the work yourself. Step 1, step 2. FAQs are here. A lot of the comments you guys made are here. I didn't put names. The schedule is here. I did have a quick question. If there's a problem with me choosing 9/11, I'm in New York. I respect 9/11, but it tends to be business as usual. So I don't know if you guys thought that we should skip that week. I was just trying to avoid Thanksgiving week.
Yeah, I think 9/11 is okay.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I've worked on 9/11 since subsequently, so I think it's okay.
Okay, I just didn't want to.
And you know what? It really gives people something else to think about
Mm-hmm.
instead of the negative. You know, life goes forward. So
yeah.
Thank you guys. I feel better. I don't want anybody to go, oh, I'm offended. You know how people are. So this is it here. And you notice you might go, why is she going from June 5th to July 31st? Well, because you know what happens in between. The person mastermind, that's why. And then this will change. Well, yeah, eventually I'd like to put a different video up there. So some things I just tweaked, and then we got the pricing down here again. So guys, we want to use the time here now. Any quick comments on what you see so far, since we are in record mode?
A lot of great work. I've put together pages like this, so I know how much time it takes to figure out the calendar for the rest of the year, have all your back pages with registration. This is a lot of work. So I thank you so much, and I'm going to sign up for both option 1 and 2.
As far as the description for option 1 and 2, when you hit that, will there be an explanation for what they are signing up for? Because, you know, just saying option 1, option 2, having the buttons there, people are going to wonder, as I did, what does that mean? What am I getting before I press the button?
It's all the stuff on the page.
Well, I understand that, but you just looking, you know, if you come to the first option and it's there, then you're wondering, well, what is that? You know,
and you're right. Tony mentioned that. He says, why did you put the options so far up on the page? Which would have made sense for me to delete the options and move them further down. But then I thought there are some people like you guys that know what the mastermind is about. You don't want to scroll down. So you'll just say, where's the first one, and you'll pay for it. And then for the people that need a further explanation, they'll scroll down and they'll come across it again. So I just looked at it that way.
Okay. All right. And see, for me, I guess I'm of the mindset of giving people information so they don't have to figure out what's going on early on. So you might want to just give that some thought.
Okay. I like it. I went in there. We would have to remove all that, and that takes a lot of time. So
no, I'm not saying remove that. I'm just saying, you know, is there an explanation, or can there be an explanation closer to the top than down the bottom? No. So people are seeing.
So Marquesa, can you do this? Can you insert a chart, like a spreadsheet, a matrix that has option 1, option 2, option 1 and 2, and this is something it'll take you 2 minutes to do, and then you can just insert it at the right place on that page?
I think I don't know if that helps. Once this is filled out, you'll get a page back that lays out what those options are. And that means I would have to move registration step 1 and move this registration step 2. There is a pages document that I created that has those 3 options on it. What I'm hearing Teresa saying is she wants to know more about the benefits, or not the actual
features.
Yeah.
The features, exactly. Yeah. And I think that's what you were addressing, Carol, right?
Right. I mean, just something. Don't move anything. Yeah. Just insert a matrix somewhere on this page so that someone can quickly see. Okay, this is what this represents. It's like when you go to a website and you're thinking about purchasing their subscription services, and they have a matrix, and they've got checkoff points. And so, I mean, just something very basic and simple, but
all right,
could be helpful.
Marquesa.
Yeah.
Now, options 1 and 2. So there's a summer one. Okay.
Because we don't want to stop the continuity.
Right, I understand.
Mm-hmm.
The summer one is a stripped down version, just to be clear.
Excuse me 1 second. I'll be back.
So thank you guys.
Great job.
There's still other.
Yeah, it looks very good.
Great job.
Guys,
yeah.
Do me a favor as a side note. Let me stop sharing. Do me a favor as a side note. I think you want to be, if you are a current facilitator and you want to be a facilitator, somebody put themselves in mute. Or are we on mute? All right. If you're a current facilitator, or if you want to facilitate the groups, especially with the summer masterminds, it's just going to rotate, and so we're the facilitators. You know what I mean? And then if you feel like you can do what Robert and I do at the front, I also want this chair to rotate. Okay. So that, but you got to know technology. No one can help you on that one. So if you can get in this chair, you got to know how to work Zoom and how to move the rooms and all that stuff and how to troubleshoot. And then we look, because we want to rotate it. I think that's a good way to do the summer mastermind. So that way when we get to the fall, we have more people that can fulfill the roles. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. And then one last thing, please, guys, how many of us are going to Influence 17? How many of you guys going to Influence 17? Raise your hand, raise your hand, raise your hand. If you're not, what you doing? Chris, I saw you were there last year. You better come on back.
I'm trying.
I took your picture, Chris, on the airport.
Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah.
Guys, we need your help. You don't just show up and not help us. So please join the Facebook group and help us out. We got a lot of moving parts. I'm speaking this year, so I can't. Both of them are happening on the same day, and I can't do both. Do you understand? So I need help. I need people to take on big roles and stuff. And then for the final day, we're going to, Wednesday, we stay in the whole day. So more on that later. We went way over as early.
You know what the deal is.
What happened?
Yeah.
Guys, mute yourselves. Mute
Okay.
yourselves. I'm here. I think someone's on a phone conversation.
I'm good.
Yeah, that's Willie, I believe.
Is that Willie? Let me mute Willie. Where is he? Okay. Oh, there he is. I just muted you, Willie. All right, guys. Do we have all of our groups here? So since I went through all of that, this gives Ann time to talk to us about the subconscious and the brain. So talk to us, Ann. And while you do that, I'm going to put us in groups. Go for it.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. I think that some of you may have seen what I posted on the page on Wednesday about the word of wisdom and the fact that, our subconscious mind does not know the difference between what's true or false, and it only knows what we tell it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that in and of itself helps us to understand why it is so vitally important when we started out with desire, what is it that we really want? And when we started with the questions and the steps, and we got down to step 5, and especially step number 6, where he asked us to repeat that affirmation twice a day. Now, can we just see the hands of those of us that have been doing that?
Sort of. Yeah.
Sort of. Okay, and what may also work too is you can...
In my brain.
Okay, now I think he talks about that in the book, Carol. I'm just kidding. No, Carol, it doesn't work. You have to actually recite it.
Yes.
And so the benefits...
Guys, put yourselves in mute, please. If you're not speaking, put yourselves in mute. Sorry about that, Ann.
I think Deborah's saying something to us.
Oh, is she?
Deborah, are you saying?
She's on mute. Okay, now she's off.
Okay, go ahead.
Commenting that I'm doing it twice a day. I'm reading it out loud because I have a memory, but I do morning and at night.
Have you noticed the difference?
Yes.
What?
She said yes, she notices a difference.
Wow. That's
And I say that because what happens for us in the chapter and it shows is just like the subconscious is like a magnet. It's not like a magnet, it is a magnet. And so when we think about it like a magnet, like a tape recorder, just like this program is being recorded, this meeting is being recorded, the subconscious is exactly the same way. So then we go on into the brain, and what I like about what he talks about in the brain is the fact that, I actually drew a diagram. You might not be able to see it in my book, but I'll just read it. I took what he said, and he started with desire. And then he says, if you start with desire, and you see your brain as a mental broadcasting station, I think most of us read that. So if you start with the desire and you put that desire inside this imaginary broadcasting, it's like a radio station, right? You have information coming in, you have information coming out. And then I drew this diagram that showed in that mental broadcasting station, just imagine if you see equipment. Now, the equipment is comprised of the actual auto-suggestion of the repetition of your affirmation. And I don't know if this makes sense to you, but for me, I went on and I drew another circle that shows your subconscious mind. And your subconscious, if you call it your mind or your brain, and mixed with your brain, you're only receiving information, he tells us, from 4 different sources, right? 1 is the subconscious, 2 is the conscious, and 3 is the energy of the minds of all of us that are surrounding you. And then the 4th is the infinite intelligence. And so I just wanted to start with that, because when you really think about how does the brain and the subconscious with auto-suggestion work together, if you want to call it like ingredients in a cake, you really can't leave out any one of them and really have a really good cake. So for those of us that may not be really reciting it twice a day, at least during these 10 weeks, I don't think we're getting as much as we really could, but it's an exercise. So maybe over the next 7 days, by the time we come back, maybe count the times you do it and see if it makes a big difference. Okay, so those are my comments as we start, Marquessa. So wherever you want us to go from here and wherever you want to put me next. But any questions before we move, while we're waiting for her to move, everybody? Any questions?
I found this was a very powerful chapter for me. And I will read this chapter probably weekly so that I can absorb it, and will diligently recite my affirmation, which has been tweaked and modified a bit in the morning and in the evening. Because I find that by really concentrating on the positive, forceful, determined focus that comes from this chapter, I will move forward. And it conscientiously will cause us to push away those negative thoughts that can paralyze us and stop us with self-doubt and the others, the fear, the list that they had here in the book that can be stopgaps for us.
And I'll share this with you. Oh, yeah. Okay.
I just wanted to reinforce with Carol. I don't know if I will. It was a great chapter. And for me, the affirmation, saying it twice a day, and I find myself, when it gets real hard, sometimes I've done it 3 times, but doing it 2 times, my desire to work on some projects that I have put on hold, in the last 7 to 10 days, I've been working it to the point I'm beyond the title of the next book. I've come up with 6 ways to create product. I'm working on the books. My husband and I sat here in the last 4 days and collaborated on a presentation that's going to be the signature piece of this book. And I know that the affirmation twice a day have helped me that way. And he has come up with 5 different products that he wanted to create in from his side of his business, promotional items. And so by me sharing my affirmation, he's hearing me in the morning with my feet at the floor after I've said my prayers, and he hears me saying it and reading it, and then at bedtime he hear me, and so it has engaged him. But the other piece is that Carol said as a reinforcement, the things like this was a tough emotional weekend with being Mother's Day. And sometimes with some sibling robbery or just other stuff, the negative can overwhelm you, the worry or the fear. That stuff doesn't even show up for me because I've been doing the affirmation. Sometimes you heard me say I'm doing it for times because I quickly start reciting the affirmation that get my mind off the worry pieces.
All right, guys, we need to move into groups. Any last words, Ann? I don't know where that. Yeah, I think that was your mic. All right.
Can Ann be with the Dominators? We haven't had her yet.
Y'all haven't? You sure?
No, not for the whole hour.
Oh,
make the request.
We want Ann.
I'd already put Ann in a group, but I'll move for the Dominators.
Thank you.
Next week, Ann. Okay, good. So I'll have to move. What time is it?
5:58.
Back at 6:40. I gotta move Ann real quick before she moves Ann to breakout 5. All right, guys, go and have fun. See you later.
Marquessa, before you go, are we going, you said because there was a lot of scratching going on, did you say 6:40 to come back?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. yourselves when you come back here. I thought that was funny. Good job. Bye. See you later.
We couldn't hear you. That's why.
Bye. All right. Kevin Wright goes to Rockstars. Tony Chapman goes to Breakout 5. Okay, anybody else? All right. I think we're good. What is going on? Why is Charlotte still there? I don't know why. It says Charlotte. Yep. Yeah, Charlotte, you're in break. Charlotte goes to the Dominators, which is Breakout 5. So you're in there. So if it's not showing Charlotte, you got to go out and come back in. Same thing with you, Kevin Wright. I don't know what's going on. Okay. If it's not working, that means you guys got to go out and come back in. Can you hear me? Yes? Or put it in chat room. Okay. I'm going to go to my group.
I just hit join and I'm here.
Okay, welcome, Lisa.
Welcome. Thank you.
And Lisa, I'm going to introduce you in the back end. I meant to introduce you here. Let me stop the recording.